I don't know. You just start working on you kind of enjoy that on Saturday night, but you get to Sunday and you move on, just, trying to get better. And, reminded the kids today, I don't know the last time Youngstown's won two Missouri Valley football conference games back to back. So that's the reality. And, we got to get back to work and get ready to play a good football team coming into the Ice Castle. And by the way, as all of us, hey, by the way, if I can comment, everyone was working their tails off last week, and I don't know how people get away to Key West or what when there's a season going on. So just wanted to throw that one out there.
It's a low blow, coach. Low blow.
And he's a high school. I don't remember as a high school head coach either, like taking time off. When I got to get kids ready in the weight room. I haven't been on vacation since I can't even tell you when, Joe.
Stupid spring season, man. Throwing a wrench into my vacation plans.
All right, sorry.
But I'm excited back after the win, though. Since I wasn't there, you guys got a win. Is that true or is that rumors?
Yeah, we got one. We got one. So
So, Coach, when you go into film, when you go to practice today, what has a win done for the guys? I mean, have you noticed, like Zaire was saying, winning becomes habit, and I know that ball starts rolling downhill. It's real fun to be a part of. Do you notice a little extra now that you've got a victory? Was it different in film and in practice today?
I wish I could say I feel great after a Tuesday practice, but I felt like we didn't go out and have as crisp of one that we expect to have. I think defensively did. Offensively, we could have been a lot better today. But and that's what I tell the kids. The journey. They always say, to me, how do you handle success? And it's the journey's the destination, meaning to get to the win on Saturday, what the work that was put into it and how you prepare for it and how you practice. I think those are the pieces that they'll remember, years from now. When you're successful, you don't remember the success that on that day you got the success. You remember the journey it took to get there. So we're still on that journey. We're not where we need to be, and that's a constant reminder. But success and adversity is one and the same in how you handle it. And even from victory, you got to learn from it. You got to learn how to get better from it. And we still use the word thrive from it, and continue to make those improvements. Continue that the work you're putting in is giving you that opportunity to have that success. And we always say, playing hard just gives you a chance, and we got to continue to do that.
But second, or the defense was able to come up with 5 sacks. How much have they taken, after not getting no sacks in the first 4 games, to come up with 5 on Saturday? Has that group taken another step?
Yeah, we got to look at that stat line, Trevor. I thought we had 2 sacks going into the game, but everyone's throwing that zero out. So we got to go back on our statistics and see. But yeah, it definitely, we're still learning how, like even on Monday morning when we went over film, with the team, I used maybe 11 plays, and it started in the second half just on complementary football that we got to continue. Meaning, we had an explosive on a kickoff, meaning we tackled someone in the 15-yard inside the 15-yard line. Then all of a sudden, now the defense gets a sack fumble that leads to an offensive touchdown. And I had those clips just showing them, and our kids are constant learners, so just trying to show them what complementary football looks like. And people, it's not on any stat line, but I said, once in a while too, we got to have each other's back. When we muffed the punt there in the first half, the defense had the back of that special team by holding them to a field goal. Late in the fourth quarter with 8:35 left in the game, we gave up the first touchdown of the game. Offense had the defense's back because for the next 8 minutes and 35 minutes, the defense never came back on the football field. And we were able to finally finish a football game where last week, if we just get one more first down, it's a whole different outcome. So, that drive to me was very important and teaching them to finish. And if we had to go for it on 4th and 1 a couple of times, we were going to do that because the goal was we're going to finish this football game in our favorite formation, which is the victory formation.
Coach, can I ask you specifically about Jaleel McLaughlin? Obviously had a big game again on Saturday. That's 3 straight games with 100 yards, and you keep talking about stacking good days on good days, and then they become great days. It's been a while. It's been like 4 years since we've had a running back, stack 300-yard rushing games in a row. And I know he's used to it at Notre Dame, but what is he doing that is paying off on Saturdays? Because he's doing something that hasn't been done for a little while.
Well, I think he's a special player that he's proven he's produced, whether it's at the Division II level and now at the FCS level. But it starts up front. The first couple games, we weren't exactly where we needed to be on the offensive line. And, those guys' development, I think each week, there's new challenges for them, especially this week with a team that is quick, fast, and has a lot of blitz and a lot of movement. But, our offensive line has shown that development over time the last 4 weeks. And Jaleel's one where, number one, he's fast, he's explosive, he has great vision, and he's been doing it. The last 2 years he's had over 5,000 yards, so he definitely knows how to find open space and how to finish a run.
Was that the most unique game of the season of the 5 that you guys have played? I know it was a win, and that's probably what a lot of people look at from a coaching perspective.
It is, and I still don't know if we've played a complete game, and really that's on the plan to win this week is, try to have a complete game where you don't have errors on special teams. I thought this game, though, we had more pre-snap penalties probably in this game than we had in the previous 4. And, those are things we definitely got to clean up, especially when we're inside the 30. I thought we were making mistakes that I haven't seen us make, whether it was, decision making, whether it was, pre-snap penalty. And those are the things we need to clean up. So I think we're getting closer. I think that second half showed a, complete game, whether it was offense to defense to special teams. But we're still looking for that complete football game. Mm-hmm.
More explosive plays. But the other side of that is, when you put together 15, 20 play drives that take 8 minutes off the clock and just grind the team down, you got to love that part of it too as a coach, because time of possession, you just seem to have complete control of that when you put together those long, sustained drives where you maybe only chew, 4 or 5 yards of play.
And it's one of those things where the goal is to win a football game. And if our defense is playing great defense and we're able to run the football and be able to take that time of possession and control, you have to do that. And we're not going to just start, slinging the ball around just because we want to. I do believe there's going to be a time that we're going to have to throw the ball downfield. I thought that first drive, really going into the game, we wanted to get explosives, and we had 3 passing explosives in that first drive. We hit C.J. Charleston, then we hit Malik Moj, on a post there to get us down to the 1. We had a penalty, and then we hit Christian Turner, on a little flag route, corner route in the end zone. So we're going to keep, I think when you say complete game, we want to be a balanced attack, being able to run and pass. But also, though, you get in a game and you're going to take what the game is giving you, and the goal is to win the football game. And we felt on Saturday that we could run the football, we could play great defense, and we had control of the game. And so we weren't going to do anything unnecessary. Even in that last drive was 15 plays, they knew we were running the football, those 15 straight plays, and those are the tough yardage that you have to get. And they got 9 guys in a box, and that's where you're proud of your kids' effort, because they know you're running, they're putting 9 guys in the box, and to be able to get first downs there was the goal. The 61, the 61, 62. I'd love to see it.
How
Yeah.
much have they changed over 40
You
years?
know, I don't know. We're 0 2 against them. So, 61, 62. That we probably have that film in the archive somewhere. I should have Trevor look it up. But, it and again, they're new to this league, but they're not new to FCS. Coach Bubba, he's built a program there that was in the playoffs last year, and they're aiming for the playoffs again this year, being ranked number 6 in the country.
You talk about Mark Wade and how he's been able to open up the offense a little bit. Like you guys said, they needed to run the ball, and like he's been really efficient as well. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think Mark each week gets better in his decision making, and you just want it quicker and quicker. Whether it's him keeping the football and running it on those option reads, which he had an explosive there on one of our drives where I think he hit a run for 20 yards or something like that. And we're continuing in practice. And again, we work every week and our passing game, and we do it against our defense, and I think our defense has done a great job pass defensively, and to build the confidence. Can complete balls against our defense, to build that confidence to be able to go on Saturday when we need to. There's going to be a time of day that we're going to have to be balanced and not only run the football but also be able to throw the football. And I see those improvements each week, and I think Mark is gaining confidence in doing those things.
Like on the first touchdown, you guys went for two. Is that something you plan on doing, going for two, or is it a gut feeling, or is it just what they're doing, or it's for that early in a game?
Oh, you can't go for 3. That was I don't know who said that one. That might have been Woody Hayes or somebody said, yeah, you can't go for 3. But it's one of those that you work on in momentum, and we work on our 2-point plays. We work on it versus our defense. So you got to be confident with what you're going in, that you've seen it work over time. But your analytic people or your statistic people would say, going for 2, statistically is the thing to do. When you can do the math, if you go 60%, going for 2, you're going to get more points than going 100% going for 1 point. So there's always a time in the game that you do it. I think we also did it against Southern, and we didn't get it. And so, and we thought we had a great play, and they gave maybe one different look. We had numbers, we didn't execute. So, it's something that we work on, and, going into the game, we usually have a good feeling. Hey, we scored first, or, we're in a game and it's the second touchdown, be ready to go for 2.
Looking a little bit of a history of this year, but McFadden actually had a really good week last week. 41 yards and made all of his picks. Can you talk about that a little bit and how he did it?
And that was great to see. And I think that 41 yarder was the longest Colton's had at the Ice Castle. So, for him to be able to do that. And, we haven't been consistent there. And to be able to see us be, 100% in our conversions and our field goals was great. And again, I always say that playing football just depends on a lot of variables. It depends on those 7 men that are protecting, 7, 8 guys that are protecting up front, the great center snap, to the hold, to not getting the laces. There's a lot of things going, but I thought he had a great week of practice, and to see him go in the game, we were very happy for Colton.
Hey, Doug, I know it's another school, but any comment on Illinois State CC, football for this spring?
I seen that. We had a conference meeting yesterday, which, I know he was handling business, so he wasn't in that Zoom meeting with head coaches and the commissioner. But, as a head coach, you got to sometimes make decisions that are in the best interest of your student athletes. And, head coach making that call, obviously he's making a call maybe for the safety and welfare, maybe not so much for COVID, but if you have ever practiced in the spring and saw the roster in a spring practice compared to the fall, where maybe you had seniors that graduated, maybe seniors that elected not to play, an extra year, maybe you had guys that transferred. So I think going into the season, we are all concerned with the numbers that we would have going into a spring football season. I mean, there's been weeks where we only have one offensive line to go with. And so in this case, I'm sure he looked at what was in the best interest of his team. And, I'd look at if, we didn't bring in, 10 mid-year, 9, 10 mid-year athletes, we might be in a similar situation that Illinois State is in.
Coach, you talked a little bit about Mark Wade's progress, and what do you think the next step is for Mark as he moves forward and starts to become a complete quarterback?
Consistency. I think, again, stacking good days upon good days and turning those good days into great days upon great days. And, I think as he matures, watches more film, practices more, gets in tune with receivers and coverages, quarterback's not an easy position. You got to know every formation and make sure guys are lined up right. You got to get the play in. You got to know where the protection is going. Okay, if they're blitzing from the field, I got to switch the protection to slide to the field. Now I got to read the coverages. And okay, if they roll down to the field, my eyes now got to go to the boundary. So there's so many different variables for a quarterback. And to be able to do that and make those decisions in a second, 2 seconds, I think that just takes some time.
Give us a quick thumbnail on North Dakota. You mentioned that in the conference, what they bring to the table on both sides.
I have a lot of respect for them. Just watching them, for some reason they've been on our list of, when I was watching Southern Illinois, preparing for Southern Illinois, preparing for South Dakota State, I got an opportunity to watch continuous games, and so I have a lot of respect because they play hard. I mean, when you watch their offensive line, they're physical, they play hard from till the whistle. You watch them on defense, they just create chaos. They run to the football. They have their movement. Their D-line are backed off the football, and they're moving every play. They're blitzing every play. They create turnovers. But, I just have respect that when you look at film, it's kind of how you want to see yourselves, playing football, that you see 11 guys running to the football, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams. And so they do that. So it's going to be a great challenge for us this week. But I have respect for them. But, we're going to prepare like we always do and get ready to play a great football game on Saturday.
Coach, you talked about some of the kind of moving parts that are involved with the roster. How do you think this team has dealt with some of the transfers? Guys who are here 1 week and decide to enter that portal. I know you talked a little bit about it last week, but just how do you think the team has dealt with those losses and just making sure that they're moving on in the right way?
I think they've handled just like adversity, in dealing with that. I think the ones that have stayed in that locker room and the ones that have grown through that brotherhood, I think you see it. I don't think you can fake that. So to be able to see that on the sidelines with those, and I'm sure, you're always going to have to be dealing with that. Coach Dress always says, you always got to know what your players are thinking. In our position coaches, what are your players thinking? And if you're not sitting down with them just to understand what they're thinking and what's on their mind, I think you're doing a disservice, not only for yourself, but the team, and in building a relationship with their player. And, it's new, maybe what we do, or, the playing time, but, we do things the Youngstown way. And, when we talk about the Youngstown way, nothing's going to be given to you in life. That you got to go earn it each and every day. And, today I used an example of that just with, I took our transfer that came in, Grant Dixon. I said, Grant, you're at Marist. How many years? 4.5 years. He got his degree. I said, how much scholarship money did you receive at Marist? And he goes, Coach, zero. I said, so when you're feeling sorry for yourselves or you think maybe that you have earned something, I said, here's a young man that probably has loans galore, and finally in his 5th year of college football earned a scholarship to come play football, and he's making the most of it. So I think anytime that you can use real life examples, but again, we live in a different world. Everyone wants something right now, and that the instant gratification or the process. So, we're working through that as a team and as a program, but this is a good time to do it. Year one is when you got to do it. You got to set the tone for the next year 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you got to take care of it, and we're going to have those. I don't think we're at the end of it, but we're trying to establish ourselves so we set ourselves up that we keep trending in the right direction for years to come.